All right, so today we're going to uncork a topic, that you might not expect. At first glance, we're diving into the world of winery waste.
Oh, winery waste.
Yeah, I know, right? When you think wineries, you usually picture those beautiful vineyards and elegant tasting rooms.
Right, picturesque landscapes.
Exactly. But behind those idyllic images, there's this whole other side to the industry when it comes to what happens after the grapes are harvested.
Yeah, the stuff we don't see.
Right. Like, have you ever stopped to think about all those leftover grape skins and seeds and all the wastewater that gets generated during the winemaking process?
It's not something you'd typically ponder over a glass of Cabernet.
Exactly. But it turns out it's a huge challenge for the industry. So today we're joined by an expert to, help us understand how at least one company is making more eco-friendly choices a little bit easier for vineyards.
Yeah, it's a really interesting juxtaposition when you think about it. You have wine, this product that's so often associated with these natural processes, small batch, even artisanal production.
Right.
But to create that product, there are inevitably byproducts. And those byproducts, well, they need careful and pretty technical management to minimize the environmental impact.
And that's where GreenFlow Environmental Solutions comes in, right? They're tackling this very specific challenge by offering these tailored solutions for wineries. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all approach. It seems like they really try to understand the unique needs of each vineyard.
Absolutely. And this whole trend of customized waste management is really gaining traction. Regulations are getting increasingly complex, and for wineries, that can be a lot to handle. So having a partner who really gets the ins and outs of your specific industry, in this case wineries, well, it's invaluable.
So instead of focusing on all this complicated stuff, they can, focus on their craft, focus on producing great wine.
Precisely. Let the experts handle the complexities of responsible waste management. It's a win-win.
Totally. So let's get into the nitty-gritty here. When we're talking about winery waste, I think most people probably think about pomace, like the leftover grape skins and seeds.
The solid.
Yeah, and that stuff can be used for other things, like grapeseed oil. But it turns out winery waste is way more than just pomace. GreenFlow's website mentions all this other stuff, like liquids, oils. It's a lot more complex than I think most people realize.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, this is something you see across a lot of industries.
Yeah.
Producing goods always means you're going to generate byproducts.
Right.
It's unavoidable.
Right. Makes sense.
The real question is, what are you doing with those byproducts? How are you managing them responsibly? And that's where a company like GreenFlow, with their specialized knowledge, can make a real difference.
So it's not always about magically turning trash into treasure. It's about handling those byproducts responsibly, even if you can't, totally repurpose them into something new.
Exactly. And one area where GreenFlow seems to really excel is in handling organic waste. Now, when you hear the term organic waste, you probably think composting, right?
Yeah, like your classic backyard compost bin.
Exactly. But GreenFlow's approach, it goes way beyond that. They talk about using advanced technologies to process and manage organic waste in a way that's not only environmentally sound, but also highly efficient.
Advanced technologies, huh? I'm intrigued. What exactly are these technologies? Are we talking about something, totally unique to GreenFlow, like a next-level composting system we've never even heard of?
See, that's what they do. They leave you wanting to know more. Clever marketing, for sure. But it does make you think, what are they doing differently? It hints at a certain level of specialized knowledge.
Right. They're not giving away all their secrets. And this kind of ties into their whole focus on compliance, which they highlight a lot on their website. They emphasize helping wineries navigate all the complex regulatory requirements around waste management.
Oh, absolutely. And I can only imagine how valuable that is for wineries. These regulations, they're no joke. Trying to stay on top of them while also, running a vineyard, producing wine, it'd be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, talk about a headache.
Exactly. So GreenFlow, they act as a partner, helping these wineries stay compliant, avoid potential issues down the line.
So it's like having this sustainability expert in their corner, guiding them through everything.
Precisely.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like having a sustainability Sherpa guiding them through this whole process, which, let's be honest, it can be pretty daunting for businesses these days.
Yeah, especially when you think about it. Their passion, their expertise, it lies in crafting those perfect vintages and unique blends.
Right.
They want to be thinking about the art of winemaking, not, pouring over environmental regulations.
Exactly. And speaking of sustainability, it's not just about what happens at the vineyard, like on site. GreenFlow takes it a step further with this partnership they have. with one tree planted.
Right, right.
So for every contract that GreenFlow secures, a tree gets planted.
It's a really cool initiative. It adds that feel-good element to their services. It's not just about like responsible disposal. It's about actually giving back, contributing to reforestation.
Yeah, it's like that extra layer of impact that I think, a lot of businesses these days, especially in the food beverage industry, are looking for. But I did notice something else on their website that I thought was interesting. They offer a pretty wide range of services, like beyond just wineries.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking hazardous waste, industrial waste. It's a pretty extensive list.
See, that's what I find so fascinating about this company. We're looking at wineries today, but that breadth of services, it speaks to a level of expertise that goes way beyond just one niche.
Right. Yeah.
This is not a one-trick pony, They've clearly encountered and overcome some pretty unexpected waste challenges along the way.
Right, because you don't just become an expert in, like, hazardous waste, winery waste without seeing some things, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I bet they have some stories. Oh, man.
I bet they do. It really highlights how waste management, it's rarely as simple as it seems.
It's like an iceberg, right? You see the finished product, that beautiful bottle of wine, but you don't see what it took to get there. All the byproducts, the processes, the behind-the-scenes work to manage it all responsibly.
Yeah, and that's where companies like GreenFlow are so crucial, because they're not only handling all those hidden complexities, but they're also, like, shining a light on them, right? Showing these businesses that there are solutions out there.
Right, providing a roadmap.
Exactly, and that there are ways to, like, navigate this whole landscape responsibly.
Absolutely. They're leading the charge, showing others what's possible.
It's like they're saying, hey, we see you, we see what you're doing, we're here to help.
Exactly.
And it kind of makes you wonder, what are some of the weirdest waste challenges out there, the things we don't even think about.
Oh, I'm sure there are countless examples. Every industry has its quirks, right?
Yeah.
Its own hidden waste complexities. Honestly, I'd encourage anyone listening, if you're even a little bit curious, go down the rabbit hole for your own field. You might be surprised what you find.
Yeah, consider that your homework assignment.
There you go.
Go forth and be amazed by the unseen world of waste. But seriously, it's a good point to end on, It's easy to get caught up in our own little worlds, but this whole deep dive into winery waste, especially through the lens of GreenFlow and what they're doing, it really highlights how interconnected everything is and how much is happening behind the scenes that we don't even think about.
It's true. And it just underscores the importance of not only acknowledging those complexities, but also supporting the companies who are actively developing solutions. Companies like GreenFlow, they're really pushing for a more sustainable future. And that's something we're celebrating, don't you think?
Absolutely. Cheers to that. And to uncovering this unseen world of waste. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, and we'll see you next time.